This is Errol Marks from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We're here at Radio Row, Super Bowl 59. We have a very special guest. He was a Philly, and he did play the Yankees in 2009. We still love him. Jayson Werth.
Thanks.
Jayson Werth.
I didn't know if it was in question or not.
No aggression, because we won the World Series.
True.
So
true.
There's nothing aggressive about it. But
thanks for the reminder.
There's no place for second place?
No, it is.
I won one. We're good.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
We got beat by a bunch of ghosts.
Is that what we call it? Yankee ghosts?
There was ghosts on the field.
I figured. Are you friends with Sam Darnold?
No.
Anyway, you're here at Radio Row. Why don't you explain to some of the fans why you're here?
I got into horse racing after I retired from baseball, and kind of on a whim, really. Wasn't looking for it. Horse racing found me. A couple years later, got in on a horse named Dormont. We bought him when he was 1. So a year later, when he's 2, he starts to run, and it's like looking like he's a pretty good horse. Won a race, and started to think that maybe he could be a dude. And then last year he won a race to get enough Derby points. Ran in the Derby, ran 10th. Didn't run very well. Went to the Belmont. He was the second longest shot in the field. And he won convincingly. Winning the Belmont was a life-changing event for me. He went on to win the Haskell. He ran 4th in the Travers, and he's now a stallion at Spencer Farms in Lexington. And now I have Icon Racing partnerships that I've started. So we're raising capital, kind of crowdfund for to buy horses, bring new people into the sport because the sport is not easy to get into, and owning the horses is what it's all about. I think that's a lot different from going to the track and just betting on them. So when you own the horse, you wake up in the morning and you're like, what's he doing? How's he training? He becomes like a family pet.
How much effort, how much time and effort do you put into that? Like on a daily basis, being the owner. Like, I know you have to hire your trainers, your jockeys.
It just depends on where you're at in the season and what's going on. Like as you get closer to races, you pay more attention to, they run every 4 to 6 weeks typically when they're healthy. And then as you get closer to races, and you start getting a little bit more nervous, and you start thinking how's he going? Like, is he, did he
shit today? Did he shit today?
Did he take a shit today? Did he eat his food?
They shit a lot of loads, man. I've seen the horse shit.
Well, they can't talk, so you can only do so much for them. So, but it's becoming more and more now with the Icon Racing partnerships. I'm the managing partner, so. I've got like 25 partners in our first group, so a lot of these are new owners. So the whole idea for me is to this sport is starting to it's on the decline, right? Tracks are closing. They're people aren't as into the sport as they once were. I've got the hats made.
It's nice. I like it. Could I get one?
Sure. I got a bunch of them. Make horse racing great again. That's what we're trying to do here. And then we started the media company, Icon Racing LFG. We got a podcast, all the socials. That's kind of like a conduit, a bridge, really, for people to kind of come and learn and see, what the horse is all about. The people in the partnerships, well, that'll be their kind of their hub to kind of learn the sport and see what's going on. And then we got the partnerships with the horses. So it's a kind of a 3-prong approach here to horse racing, and we'll see what we can do.
I remember you against the Yankees in 2009. You had your best season of your career, 36 home runs, 99 RBIs, and you said horse racing has been career-changing. Baseball, life-changing. But baseball was life-changing, too, for you. I mean, it really took you to the next level, opened up opportunities for you.
And it got me to this point, right? I mean, horse racing is, it's kind of an expensive venture to get into. You can make money, but you gotta have money to get into it. So I wouldn't be in horse racing without baseball. And, what we accomplished in Philadelphia with those teams was unbelievable. It led to my move to Washington. At the time, I think it was like the 9th biggest contract in baseball history.
Yes,
so,
it was.
It was kind of shocked the world. Me and Scott Boras kind of had this crazy idea. And I was supposed to go to Boston.
Boston.
That would have been great too.
And my dad, he played the big leagues for 3 years. He played with the Yankees in '80 and '81. And I called him and I said, I got 2 deals. I got Boston 5 years with a 6-year option, or I got the Nats for 6 years with a 7-year option. He's like, the Nats. He's like, didn't they just lose 100 games? I said, yeah, but I think they're going to be
They're
good.
on the mend, yeah.
And he's like, huh. He's like, I don't know, Jason. Waking up in the American League East every day is like waking up with hemorrhoids.
Yeah, pitching in it is not any easier.
And I was like, I think I'm too young to know what hemorrhoids are.
You're like, I got a couple kids.
But okay, I was like, all right, good. And then like 30 minutes later, Scott Boras called and said, I got Washington to guarantee the 7th year full no trade. So it was it was a pretty no-brainer. So. That was pretty cool. That we turned the Nats franchise around. I got my name in the Ring of Honor on the stadium.
You did.
Yeah.
They won a World Series a couple years after I left, which was kind of just a culmination of all the hard work and the time we put into that team and that organization in that city. So I was super happy for those guys.
You're known for your beard, okay? I didn't even know who you were until I kind of glimpsed and somebody said, that's Jayson Werth.
I still have a beard. Right?
No, but you look like, I don't know what you look, no, he looked like Conan I forget what they call them, Vikings?
Yeah,
that's what you look like. You look like the Viking.
Yeah.
Okay? What happened to it?
So, it's there.
Yeah, it's not there. I mean, I got a beard.
Like, when you're playing, I'm super superstitious. Like, I'm still like, I can't cut my hair. Every time I cut my hair, something happens. Like, it's like something bad happens. So I was 05 spring training. I got my hair cut. This guy's telling me like, oh, getting your haircut's good karma. You're gonna have a great season.
Oh, Lord.
I'm good luck. You're gonna do great.
I'm good luck.
Next day, first at bat, 96 off my wrist, derailed. Not AJ Burnett. Barely played in 05, surgery. Didn't play in 06, another surgery. Didn't play until August of 07.
Wow.
Really, like, almost
3 years.
Almost ruined my career. Definitely changed the course of my career. And it turned out okay. But since then, I was real leery about haircuts. and so
I got a couple more left.
Yeah, when I'm playing, I was like, as the season went on, I was like, I'm not touching anything, especially when I was playing good.
I get a haircut every week. Yeah,
bro, but baseball players are superstitious, man.
Well, what is it?
Like, I put
what
my
makes
right
you
sock on,
superstitious?
my left sock on.
Well, I mean, I got a haircut. The guy told me it was good luck, and I almost lost my career over it.
That's a good
Maybe it was
segue.
something else. Maybe you hopped on your right foot too much.
I don't think so. It had to be a haircut. I'm pretty sure it was, too.
It was a haircut,
I never
dog.
got any more haircuts, and I played pretty good. So.
Maybe it's the shampoo you were using.
I still just stopped washing my hair altogether.
No parabens. Any former players that you have that have partnered up with you in horse racing? And obviously we spoke on Sean Kelly being your co-host on.
Yep, Sean Kelly's part of it.
Yeah.
I got a couple guys in. The funny part is these guys they're so reluctant to spend their own money. Like the partnerships, it's $100,000 a share. So when you call these guys and they're like, okay, I gotta hold on. I gotta call my financial guy, and then the next call is from the financial guy telling me that he's not in. I'm like, dude, who's in charge of your money? So I think it's gonna take time. A couple of these guys were in, and then they were out. But I got Shea Victorino's in.
Right on.
A good friend of his has been in horse racing for a long time and helped him write that check. So this is one of those things where it's like, you can do anything with your time, right? You can go on vacations. You can spend money however you want to do it. Horse racing is like, to me, it's like buying season tickets at your favorite sports team. Mm-hmm. It's like going to Vegas, on a Vegas trip. It's like taking your kids to Disneyland, and it's buying lotto tickets. It's kind of like, that's kind of how I look at it. So over the course of, we buy them. The fund closed in December 31st of last year, so there'll be 2. Next year, and then the year after that there'll be 3. So for 2 years, that money will go to caring and taking care of the horses and get them into races and training them, all that stuff. So it's an investment, so to speak, but it's also entertainment.
It's $100,000 buy, and that's it.
That's it.
I'm interested.
No cash calls.
I'm interested.
Okay, let's go.
I'm interested. You get me a card. I'm interested.
You get more adrenaline on race day or Game 7 in the World Series?
Well, so I didn't get nervous for baseball, or even when I played like hoops in high school, big games, where it was just like, I knew what I was doing. I was good at it.
Yeah. More comfortable.
So, like the Game 7 of the World Series was like or we didn't play Game 7, but
Yeah,
Game 6, Game 5. But that was like the most calm I've ever been. Like
Just
no nerves. A horse race, like the day of the horse race, I'm nervous.
tight bungie.
Oh man! When it's like when the race before yours goes off, like as soon as they hit the line, your race is up. So the horses are like walking over, whatever, and that's like I'm already like I get chills. So it's like oh my god,
it does, bro.
It's our race. It's like our race is up. So we're like, all right, we're in the paddock. So you walk.
It's like
to the
you're
paddock.
racing. That's what it is.
So this is what I'm getting at. So they go on this. You go on the paddock. They walk them around, and then here comes the jockeys. They get the saddle on them, and they talk to the trainer and the jockey. All right, this is what we're gonna do. This is the type of race we want to run. And like, all right, let's go. And then they say riders up. The jockeys get on, and it's real. Like now these little guys are on these beasts that are, running 40 miles an hour. And this little stirrups they have. It's crazy how they.
Dude.
And they literally those jockeys they are risking their life every time
Yes.
they get on the horse. So this is. Anybody that plays a sport, like your life is at risk to a point.
100%,
Like not many people die from playing professional sports, but I mean it can happen. So it's always there's that element, right? With these jockeys, they're going 40 miles an hour
On a horse.
It's so there's that. So then you get them on the track, they get them warmed up, whatever, and they go get them at the gate. Like it's always some horse is always like I don't want to get in, So you're like get in, let's get in. They get in. Damn it! Like at the Kentucky Derby, I was literally hyperventilating. I had to scream.
Get him
to
a
take
back.
breath.
Get him a back.
Oh, I look over at my kid Jackson. He looked at me like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, ugh. So they get in the gate, and then the gates open, and that is when you feel like you're back on the field. So for retired athletes, there's a void, right? Any athlete, there's a void from competition, from having people in the stands, this ultimate rush of adrenaline. I tell people when they come around the turn, they come down the front straight. It reminds me of bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. You're down 2, and you're sitting in the dugout, and your guy's up there hitting, and you're like, come on, come on. And he
Pop one.
He hits a ball in the double, hits a ball in the gap, right? And then and now all of a sudden you're running the guy from first all the way. Come on. That is what it feels like when these horses come down the straight, and it makes you feel like you're literally back on the field. So the first race I ever went to was a low claiming race at Tampa Bay Downs. I owned a quarter of this horse that wasn't very good, but I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
I'm going to have a heart attack.
And I'm back on the field, and I'm like, this is the greatest sport ever. So that was what got me going, and that was years ago. But now, the Dormont with his success and running into the Belmont, running into the Derby, winning the Belmont, and being part of this great sport and seeing how these all the people involved, how great the animals are, it was just so compelling. I was like, I have to stay in the sport. How am I going to stay in the sport? I can't go toe to toe with. Sheikh Fahad and Mike Rapoli,
Billionaires, yeah.
Billionaires, So the idea is to get new owners in, crowd fund, get a group of horses and go compete at the highest level with people that don't really know the sport.
I've watched racehorse riding for a long, long time. I actually was at the last Belmont with the Triple Crown. Do you remember who that is?
American Pharoah?
Nope.
Justified.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
It was Justified.
Yeah,
It was Justified. It was, and I got to meet John Smith, I think it was. Mike Smith. Mike Smith. And they're little guys. Little guys. I have a picture. I got to show you a picture. It's him standing next to me. He's up to my chest. It's unbelievable how small these guys are and how big these horses are when you're right next to them. And I've never been to a Belmont.
Freaks.
They are freaks.
They are freaks.
They got more muscles than anybody, any 6 guys standing right next to them. It's pretty amazing.
They're professional athletes.
They really are. And I never understood how big they were until they're walking on the field and I'm standing right there seeing how big these things are.
So Luis Saez is a jockey for Dornick. We love Louis. He comes in the winner's circle. And he throws his whip, and we take the picture, and he gets off him, and I go over and I grab him and I throw him in the
air. Little people tossing, I guess.
I still
can't call them midgets.
Can't call them midgets. No, they're normal people. They're just small. But I just picked him up. I was so excited. I just threw him up.
Dude, we have a jockey that lives in my neighborhood. And his dog is he felt like he can ride his dog. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but he's a jockey, and he walks and he had a long, successul career. I can't remember the name for the life of me, but he's from Orlando. You're also a pilot as well.
Yeah.
Tell me when you got your commercial license. I know when I got mine, my foot was shaking like a leaf on a tree.
Yeah, I had a couple moments where I was questioning my sanity. Why am I up here?
Same.
When I first got my license, I got my private, and I got my instruments, and my playing all in the same weekend. So like I kind of did it all fast at the end. Right after I got done playing, wow. I was flying while I was still playing. I wasn't supposed to, but don't tell anybody. So I go and I go get my plane. My first flight home is in my Cirrus by myself. Like I'm like, what am I doing up here? I've since graduated. I got a Pilatus PC-12, and I have a co-pilot with me at all times. The insurance company makes me, but I feel better that way. So it's I use it for transportation. It's a great way to get around after playing 15 years in the big leagues and flying on big league charters all the time. You get kind of accustomed to you get spoiled to flying a certain way. So commercial travel is tough.
He has this infatuation, and I think a lot of the different baseball players I've spoken to, they all have pilots. They're all pilots. They all fly planes, and I don't understand it. I mean, you go up there, and everybody says, "Oh, it's the safest it's ever been." It is not safe. Exactly. It's not safe. It's kind of scary.
It's scary. It's safe. It's safe. If you look at all the amount of planes, the amount of flights, the percentages versus.
It's just they get magnified when something happens. It gets blown out of proportion.
I mean, people die in car wrecks every day. Yeah. You don't think about getting in your car.
In car wrecks, there's only like 3, 2, 1 person. In a plane wreck, there's hundreds. So, and that's why people
not on
take
my
it.
plane, simply just me.
That's
why people blow it out of proportion. Because
I think a lot of athletes are turned on into being pilots because we're searching for like that adrenaline rush. I know for me, like coming into land, coming on from base to final, there's like
it gets it going.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, this could be a life or death moment.
Yeah.
So,
if you don't like flying planes, you can just do horse racing. Let's go.
There you go. I like to.
I don't know. We're gonna have to walk a few more miles if you want him to be a jockey.
I'm not a jockey. I'm a muscular guy. I'm not going to sit there and try to be some thin guy riding a horse, but I'm too muscular to do that. But I absolutely love horse racing. I've gone to a couple of Belmonts. It's fun to go to, and the people are crazy. I mean, the costumes that they wear. They wear these dresses that you've never seen before. These 2-layer pieces, and the hats that they wear. That looks like you can fly it or wear it as a cape. Some of these women.
That's all part of it. The girl. That's why it's so great. The girls get into it as much as the guys. So, for people like that are getting into it, they're like, I'm gonna have to run this by my wife. I'm like, dude, just bring her to a race. She's in. She gets to wear a dress, a hat. They take her to dinner. There's typically concerts. There's all these things to do around the sport. It's such a fun day. And like you go to the track, and like typically on big days they start like 10:30 and it goes to like 6:30. I mean, it's amazing how fast a day at the track goes. There's like 12 races, and you end up always running to the booth to make your bet. There's 1 minute, let's go.
That's why people are afraid to invest into it. It is because they feel like, when am I going to gain back my money? When am I going to? But you can't look at it that way because all it takes is one race. It takes is one race.
I think it's entertainment, right? It's like I said, it's buying season tickets. It's going to Vegas. It's buying a lot of tickets, and it's taking your kids to Disney World. One of my owners partners, he made a great point. He said, you take your little kids to Disney World, you take your adult kids, your grown-up kids to horse racing. That's a way to kind of keep them around. So like once your kids leave the house, my kids are in college, so once they leave, it's hard to get them to like hang out with you, and so you're like, you're going to the race with us, and they're there all day, and they got to sit at the table. And so you get them to hang out with you.
Drink the Blantons.
Yeah.
I think I remember when your horse won the Belmont. I saw how crazy you were. And I said, it was Jayson Werth's horse. And I was like, Jayson Werth. Ah, that's who Jayson Werth is.
Jayson Werth.
Yes.
The one and only.
Yes, sir. The one and only, baby.
That's it.
So that's where. But before you go, we're going to give you a nice little gift.
Okay.
All right. You have an ice shaker.
I do not.
You do not. Well, guess what? Chris Gronkowski and the Gronk family are a sponsor to our product right over here. And all you got to do is go to www.iceshaker.com and you can collect Marvel or any kind. You can get a Phillies one. You can get a Kansas City Chiefs one, a Philadelphia Eagles, even a New York Jet one.
They need to get into
Or you could get a horse racing one. You
That's
could
what I
get
was saying. I
your
was thinking Dormont.
MHRGA right over there.
Marga.
Right on. There it is. This guy has got jokes. Anyways, we got Jayson Werth, and we are going to give him a nice ice shaker. There it is. Go to iceshaker.com. Anyways, before we let you go, man, one more question. I know you're not a big football guy.
No, I am.
You are?
He is, yeah.
You are.
That's the one sport I watch.
So you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan because you went to Philadelphia.
I'm a big Philly fan. Philadelphia was good to me.
Obviously, you got the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
I got one in the first half.
Until the referee screwed them, right?
Yeah, there's too much funny business goes on in the second half. I think we're in good shape in the first half. I did tease him up to plus 3.5 overall. So I like that one too, but you got to pay for that one. Eagles first half. That's my bet.
So if you're a betting man, bet the Eagles in the first half and bet Kansas City in the second. Jayson Werth, ladies and gentlemen, he's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Cool, guys. Thanks for having me.